Well, hello, this is Deborah Johnson with the Power of After show, and I'm so excited to bring you the topic today. It's very, very relevant. We're talking about living on purpose, and it's a timely conversation about how we navigate life's transitions with intention rather than just reaction. And in this episode, I'm joined by my friend, Dr. Paul Jenkins, who has spent decades helping individuals and families shift their mindset, reclaim a sense of purpose, and create lasting peace, especially during seasons of change. And he not only helps families, but he helps corporations and companies. So together, we explore why transitions often challenge our thinking and how mindset shapes our emotional and our physical responses, and what science and positivity tells us about resilience, hope, and forward movement. And when life feels just so uncertain, learning how to lead your thoughts can make all the difference in how well you move forward. So stay tuned. Power of After is for you at mid-career, halftime of life, helping you maximize your skills, resources, and experience. We have courses, products, and help to make this stage of your life your best and most purposeful ever. Don't miss a single article, free download, or podcast. Get all the latest at goalsforyourlife.com/newsletter. Now, let's dive into today's episode. Well, welcome, Dr. Paul Jenkins. I'm so excited we were able to work this out. We've known each other for some years.
We have.
And
And this isn't our first time on the mic together. You were a
it is-
guest on my podcast recently.
I was on your podcast. It was such a pleasure. And I just respect your work so much. And we met years ago. We were both presidents of our chapters with the National Speaking Association. And
Right.
going through those years, lots of years, it's nice that's behind us. But yeah, we just have a lot of great stuff to talk about. You've got such a great message of positivity, and it's especially relevant. You talk about different stages of life. So we're going to talk about that. I want to get into, why don't you first give us a little bit of your background as a doctor, and doctor of what, of course, psychology, but I want you to give the
Yes.
emphasis of what you are. Yes.
Well, thank you, Deborah. And the short version is this. I am the positivity psychologist. And I kind of made that up because when I started into positive psychology, it wasn't really a thing yet. And thankfully, the industry has developed and evolved, and now there's a lot of really great work being done in this area. But I started in traditional psychotherapy. So
Wow.
I've got a PhD in clinical psychology, and for about 15 years in my career, I was a traditional psychotherapist.
Wow.
And there's a whole story behind the transition, and I don't know if you want to get into all of that, but the short version is through some of my own experiences, and you've probably noticed this, Deborah, that our mess becomes our message.
Oh, yes. I love that. Yes.
And, positivity was not the plan.
Mhm.
It was the lifeline.
Wow.
Because at a point in my career when I hit a low,
Mm.
I had to test
Yes.
the principles that I could teach my clients. I mean, that's easy peasy.
Yeah.
But does it apply to me?
Yeah.
And so I had an opportunity to test that. And I'll share as much or as little as that as you want me to, but
Mm.
it brought about an opportunity for me to create a model of positivity
Mm.
that has literally saved lives and transformed key relationships worldwide.
Wow.
I have a big audience now, and I never anticipated that. Because like I said, this wasn't the plan. It was the lifeline, but your mess becomes your message.
I love that.
And now I'm so grateful that I had those experiences because I've seen what it has done to save and enrich the lives and relationships of my fellow human beings here on the planet. So
Yeah,
that's the
that's
brief
wonderful.
version, and I'm having a whole lot of fun now. Uh, you know, I joke about this sometimes, but unfortunately, the term psychotherapy
Mhm.
sounds a little like therapy for psychos.
It really does, just because we've
Eh,
watched those movies. Yeah, with all
oh,
the
yeah.
crazies. Yeah.
And it's like, "Oh, I know what you need," kind of thing.
And you get the doctor with the big eyes, and yeah.
But really, at the end of the day,
Mhm.
we're all just a little off, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody's got issues, have you
Mhm.
noticed? And I think it's unfortunate that there are those stigmas and taboos around it because the principles can help anyone
Yes. Wow.
at any phase of their life. And, so I'm having a lot of fun. I kinda left the tribe. They
Oh.
still send me invitations to tribal events, but I've I've left the tribe. I'm still a licensed psychologist, but I haven't done therapy in 15 years. Everything that I do now is coaching based on
Mhm.
models, proven powerful models of positive psychology. Nobody gets a diagnosis.
Mhm.
I've fired all the insurance companies,
Good for you.
and I'm having more fun than I ever have.
Oh.
People ask, "What do you wanna do when you retire?" And I'm like,
Yep,
"This."
I'm doing it. Yep. I totally get that. I'm doing it.
I think you
Um,
do understand
yeah.
that, Deborah.
Yeah, I totally get it. Wow. That is so
Yeah.
powerful, and, that is such a good message because sometimes there's just hard times of life. I mean, it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
hard times. But when you come out on the other side and you think, "Wow, I've really grown," and, "Wow, I have I have new perspective. I have a new emphasis." I mean, I totally get that because that's where when you are and we're gonna talk about this, feeling stuck, and
Mm,
there's a lot of people that are stuck and like, what
yes.
yeah, like, "What do I do next? Where do I go? We're gonna talk about that.
Mm,
But, getting through that with some of the mindsets, and I like it that you are really focusing on mindsets. There's so much at this point of life, in the mid-career, halftime of life, especially, because at this point, people are having, their kids are growing or already grown, and this is a whole bit different thing, having adult kids. Oh my gosh, we got so much to
yes, it
talk about
is.
today. Oh my goodness.
We
But
might need to schedule another
yeah,
appointment.
yes, just on that. I've had inquiries about that. Can you talk more about those adult kids? My husband and I have talked about
Mhm.
that, but I tell you, we're going through different journeys now with our kids. So it just, the experience that you have and you come out, it's just different. It's just different. So, well,
Right.
explain the science of positivity because we hear a lot of this positivity. Okay, it's just a
Mm.
mindset, just a positivity. But if there's an actual, and science has gotten a bad rap too. I mean, is it really justified? So, a lot of people are doubting, different things now. So, what is this science of positivity that you are really speaking about?
Here's here's the foundation of it, Deborah.
Hmm.
Circumstances are neutral.
Hmm.
Now, I get fired for that sometimes
Ah,
because when you're in your circumstances,
yeah.
they don't feel neutral.
No, they don't. They
But
feel, yeah.
here's why I say that. When I say circumstances are neutral, I do not mean that they are painless or
Right.
easy. They might be extremely painful and difficult.
Hmm.
But what I mean, well, the way I've encapsulated it in my model is it is what it is.
Ah,
Okay. Now,
okay.
this is also something that annoys people. You hear that phrase tossed around,
Right.
but all it means is the way things are right now
Hmm.
without changing anything. So it's who you are, it's where you are, it's
Right.
who you're with, it's what you have.
Hmm.
It's the way things are
Hmm.
without changing anything. It is what it is.
Right.
Now, the psychological science has to do with what your brain is doing with what it is.
Okay.
And you'll notice that we create stories
Mhm.
about our circumstances.
Okay.
Okay, so to clarify that, a circumstance would simply be the facts,
Right.
okay, the way you might describe them.
Right.
So, my husband said something rude to me
Yeah.
is not a circumstance. That's a story,
Yes. It's what
okay?
happened. Yeah.
My husband said, "You don't know what you're doing." That is a circumstance.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, so and it's neutral until you attach a story to it. My
Mhm.
husband said something rude to me. See,
Mhm.
that's a story, it's a judgment.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, how I tell my clients this all the time. You're always right about how you feel,
Okay.
okay? But how you feel is 100% consistent with the way your mind is doing two processes
Mhm.
around what it is.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one, should we just dive into this, Deborah?
Let's just dive into it. Yeah, because we're getting into this sort of model or your positivity model
Yeah.
here. Yes.
Well, and I have a little disclaimer because I think my job is to illuminate the obvious,
Okay.
which is really cool. I get paid to tell people things they already know.
Right.
But there are obvious things that are completely unnoticed.
Mhm.
Okay? Obvious but unnoticed.
Mhm.
Like your clothing.
Right.
Can you feel it on your body right now?
Well, only if I'm cold and I'll feel it. Yeah, but I mean
And
it's here. Yeah.
now, I mean, as soon as I mention it, you're like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah, of course.
there it
Mhm.
is. Of course I can." It's obvious
Mhm.
now that I've called it to your attention, but it was
Right.
unnoticed up until that point.
Mhm.
Okay, or the fact that we're speaking English. Did you notice?
Yeah, yeah. I would if you started speaking French.
Dios me punte le suomeksi te te ymmärrä sitä.
Yeah.
I'm fluent in Finnish, but that's not the language we've chosen for today.
Right, right,
So obvious but unnoticed. Most of what's going on in your mind is in that space.
right,
Now, my job is to call those processes to your attention
right.
because awareness
Mhm.
precedes choice.
Okay.
And let me say that again.
Mhm,
Awareness precedes
mhm.
choice.
Okay,
And until you see it as a choice, it's not.
okay.
And you'll just go with whatever your programming is.
Yeah, follow the
Okay.
follow the yellow brick road.
So here's the first one that I would call to your awareness.
Mhm,
In my model, I've
mhm.
labeled it
Evaluate.
evaluation.
Right.
Okay. Now that's the nice word.
Mhm.
It's judgment.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I invite you to notice that you are constantly judging,
Okay.
aren't you?
Yeah,
It
it's true.
you
You're
are.
judging other people, you immediately see what color
Yes.
people are wearing. Okay, no, their hair looks different today.
Mm,
Or
mm,
yeah, you're always looking at a little something different, or they said something like, "Oh, that's hurtful." Or yeah,
yes.
yeah, they're always doing that. Yes, you're always. Uh-huh.
And you judge yourself
Right.
pretty harshly sometimes.
Harder than you judge other people sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll
Looking in
judge
the
your
mirror going,
kids.
"Oh, that's another ooh, ooh." Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. I look so whatever,
Yes. Mhm.
right? I'm such a what
Mhm.
these are all judgments.
Right.
You judge your kids, you judge your
Mhm.
spouse,
Mhm. Right.
you judge your coworkers,
Mhm.
you
Right.
judge your neighbors, you
Yeah.
judge the community,
Right.
you judge the government, you judge the economy, you judge the weather.
Right, right.
You're judging me.
Yep, yep.
It's
So what
cool.
do we
I'm
do with
judging
that
you.
judgment? What do we do with that judgment? We move on to how do you help people move beyond that judgment?
Well, before we even go there,
Mhm,
here's the next thing I would invite you to notice. Judgment or evaluation
mhm.
implies comparison
Okay, all right.
with some standard.
With something, yes.
Okay, so I ask my audiences if I'm
Mhm,
giving a keynote or something, I'll
mhm.
say, "Am I a tall man?" See, that's a judgment question.
Yes, okay.
And then in my mini book, I,
Mm,
I and I'll pull up this picture usually when I'm doing a keynote. Deborah, you might
Mhm.
recognize the man that I'm standing next to in this
Oh my
picture.
gosh, yes, I do. Yes.
Do you remember Big Mark?
Yes, Big Mark. Yeah.
Marky, I'm 6'2".
Mhm. Yeah, he's a
Okay.
big guy.
Now, and Mark towers above me at 7'4".
Right.
And
Mhm.
I used to travel with him. He was part of our chapter here in the
Right.
Mountain West. And
Mhm.
next to Mark, I'm a shrimp.
Yeah.
Okay, so am I a tall man or not? Well, it depends on who or
Your
what you
reference.
compare me to.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah,
some
your
point of
reference, your point
reference.
of reference. Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
And it's required. Okay,
Right.
educators, when I'm doing a program for
Right.
teachers or educators,
Mhm.
they know that evaluation implies comparison with some standard,
Oh, yes. Always. Yes.
right?
Mhm. Right.
Okay, so what it is what it is.
Mhm. Okay.
And in the model, I keep showing you a visual reference of this,
Mhm.
which is
If you
really handy if you've got the video feed.
Yes, if you've got the video, it's a great handy thing, yes. And you
Now,
can see
and
this online too. When people check the links, they'll be able to see it
yes.
online. Yes.
And I'll give everybody
Mhm.
a digital download of this model through my
Mhm.
mini
Right.
book. We'll
Right.
just put a link in the show notes for that
Right.
so that you can get
Exactly.
that.
Perfect.
But in the model, okay,
Mhm.
so what it
Mhm.
is neutral. Do you remember we started with that?
Right. Mhm.
That means it could always. Now, my
Mhm.
editor tells me to always avoid the word always,
Okay.
but I just used it.
Okay.
What it is always between
Mhm.
better and worse
Okay. That makes sense.
by your own judgment.
Right. Right. Mhm.
Okay, which you can't turn off, by the way. Your brain has
Right.
a couple of really important jobs. One of those is
Mhm.
to keep you safe.
Right.
And to keep you safe, your brain is constantly judging everything. Is this
Right.
safe or dangerous?
Right.
Is this good
Mhm.
or bad? Is this big or small?
Right. Mm. Right. It is. Mhm.
So now this gets a little challenging when our
Mhm.
circumstances are painful
Mhm. Okay.
or difficult
Mhm.
or big
Mhm.
because we're tempted to say this is bad
Yes. Right.
when
Right.
really
Mhm.
it could be worse.
Mhm.
And if I offered you something worse,
Mhm.
you'd be like, "No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll, I'll
Yes.
keep this."
Right.
Right? Compared to something worse,
Mhm.
this looks better,
Right.
no matter what it is. Now, I'm
Okay.
going to pause there and just because I don't think you should take my word for this.
Yeah.
And I invite all of you, any of you who are listening today,
Mhm.
to run that through your own filters and just check because
Right.
no matter what, it could always be better, it could always be worse.
Mhm.
So no matter how bad things seem,
Mhm.
it could always be
Right.
worse. Is that true?
Well, yes, and when you're looking at things, my husband and I have talked about this a lot. He said, "Okay, so let's look at the worst case scenario. Okay, so what would be the worst thing?" And at some point, when you're thinking, I mean, this we've talked about this with so many areas. But, some people think, oh, the worst case scenario, like, what if I die doing this? What if I die doing that bike ride or, something? And I'm thinking, well, you're going to eventually die anyway. So why, it's just maybe a little sooner, you know, but then you're going to miss out on some of the absolute joy. So, you've got to weigh some of those things back and forth. And I
Yeah.
know we're going to get into some of this adult kid things too, because we're thinking about, parents. There's a lot of mindset shifts going on. Now you're thinking, okay, am I going to lose my kids or am I going to lose access to my kids? One of the biggest things is some of the, we've known families that now their kids just want to disown their parents, their adult kids. And so what do there's a lot of these things. So when you're thinking it is what it is, this is
Yeah.
reality, this is the positive and this is the negative, what are some of those next steps of mindset? I know you're getting into a lot of that
Mhm.
mindset with your model, but boy, those are tough issues.
They're only tough compared to easier ones.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
And this is interesting because you brought up something that is so fun for me to just play with in my mind. And this
Right.
reveals a little bit of the demented mind of Dr. Ball. But
I love it.
you know what? There is no such thing as a worst case scenario.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm just toss that out there. Is that true?
Huh.
Because you might think, well, the worst case scenario would be that I die doing this activity that I'm considering.
Well, yeah, it might not be the worst because the worst might be in pain the rest of your life. You could
Uh,
be, I mean, there's a lot of other things that could happen of and you can live through joy through a lot of that, y-
so
you
what I'm inviting you to consider right now
Mhm.
is that your mind is capable of imagining something even worse than whatever you thought the worst case scenario was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's very, very powerful. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying that because we're demented creatures. I'm saying that because you can always imagine something worse. And
Hmm.
because of that, when your mind is judging or evaluating what it is,
Hmm.
anytime you compare that to something worse,
Hmm.
you feel at least a little better about what you got.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Now, what if you compare what you've got? And this is what we often do. What if you compare what you've got to something better?
Oh, yeah. You're dissatisfied. Oh, yeah.
Then you feel
Yeah. You feel
worse.
very, very stuck and, yeah, dissatisfied. Yes.
Right.
Right.
Just to give you an example of how this plays out, I remember one of my clients,
Hmm.
and he was going on and on and on about my job is driving me crazy, my boss, and it's that, and coworkers. And I'm like, I wanted to just bring his awareness back to this.
Hmm.
As I said, wait, you have a job?
Yeah. You get
Okay.
money? You mean you
the-
can eat every night? You mean what? Yeah. Yeah.
And what that does is it immediately invites our mind to
Right.
consider an
Mhm.
alternative that would be worse.
Uh,
And
that
compared to
is
that, I feel better about what I've got.
what a great mindset because that gives you a system. Because a lot of people don't have a system. They don't have anywhere to go with that. They think, okay, I want to just think positively, but they don't have any sort of like that diagram. I'm very visual
Right.
anyway, but they don't have that sort of system to say, okay, I could either go on this side of it or I can go on this side of it. There's that system. It's a positive visual they can hold on to say, it's it it could be worse, it could be worse, so I'm gonna be
Absolutely.
thankful right where I'm at. I'm gonna be grateful, and I'm a really big believer in being grateful and spending I have a grateful journal. I journal every single day,
Mhm.
something I am grateful for because I think that's a mindset we have so much,
Yeah.
and here we're in the US. We can eat every night. We don't I'm not in a neighborhood. I'm not gonna get, shot up, have bombs going off over my house every day. There's just a lot to be grateful for right where we're at.
You have this rich, abundant life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you pause, you nailed it, Deborah, when you said gratitude, because
Yes.
from a psychological standpoint, gratitude is the fastest, most convenient way we know to get your mind into a positive position with what it is, the way it is, without changing anything.
Wow. I love that. That is so very true. And in fact, one of my sisters for Christmas, and I already was journal. We all journal. My two sisters. But she gave me another gratitude journal just specifically for that because it's big
Oh,
right now. But what happens is people start out 1 day or 2 days and they don't continue. It's so important to be really consistent on this because I tell you what, tomorrow is going to knock you down again. And you just got to look for the positive things in there.
well, it's an option. And I tell my clients this all the time and my audiences, I'm here to illuminate the obvious. I am not here to tell you how to think.
Right, right.
What you do with this is up to you. I
Mhm.
don't have the authority to tell you how to think, but I want you to see that you are and that
Right.
your thinking matters. And how
Mhm.
you judge your circumstances
Right.
will determine how you feel.
Right.
And you're always right about how you feel.
Right. Right.
This
Yeah.
is why two people in the exact same circumstances, one can feel profoundly grateful and the other can be like, my life sucks.
Yes. Oh, boy, we've met those people. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would suggest that if you have somebody in your life that's always like that, you can probably pick another friend that you're closest to than them because they're always looking to
Yeah.
bring you down. And
Well,
I
somebody's going to rub off on somebody.
yes, yes. And so I look to, spread that joy. And I think that's a wonderful, it doesn't mean everything's always happy, but it means that we can live with gratitude. There's, stuff
Yeah.
we're going through all the time, but we
I
can
I
too.
I also feel to register a little caution here
Mhm.
because some people, when they start to latch onto this model
Mhm.
and see that their brain is doing this,
Mhm.
they want to apply it to everybody else that they know.
Oh, wow.
And so somebody goes through a difficult, challenging circumstance and they
Mhm.
say, well, it could always be worse. All right,
Don't
this
you
is
love to
going to
hear that?
lose friends really fast because even though that is true, that is not helpful
Right.
in that moment. The tools that I'm sharing with you are power tools, and they have to be used according to safety guidelines.
Right.
The number one safety guideline is these are for personal use only.
Personal use. I love that. I love that. Yeah, it really doesn't help for somebody else to tell you. Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't. You really have to do your own personal work. I think that's a very,
yeah.
very wise
So
statement.
the caution is warranted.
Or yes, we've all done it.
And just to complete this, and then let's
Mhm.
apply it to whatever context makes sense
Okay.
today. We're not done
Mhm.
after evaluation because you'll notice on the model there's a whole
Oh,
other
yes.
section up
Right.
here on the top
Mhm.
called creation.
Okay.
And this means creation of what is to be.
Mhm.
And that
Okay.
doesn't exist yet because
Okay.
we haven't created it yet. I just did a webinar yesterday, Deborah, on the 6 phases of creation, the
Ah,
psychological model about how that even happens.
okay.
And we could get into a full-on training about that, but let's just focus for a minute on what we imagine,
Mhm.
because everything that's going to be that doesn't exist yet
Right.
exists only in our imagination.
Okay. I'm a creative artist. I know that.
Yes, you are.
It's forever ideas, forever. Yes.
So here's a trick question. How you doing next week?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Well, you don't know everything that's gonna hold. You've got you
No.
know, you don't know what's
But
gonna go well. Yeah, yeah.
you've got a
Mhm.
pretty good imagination though.
Right.
And we do this as humans, okay?
Mhm.
We imagine or
Mhm.
predict or expect what
Right.
is to be.
Yeah.
Even though that isn't real yet, that's only
Yeah.
imagined.
Mhm.
Now, you as a creator, you'll know this that
Mhm.
everything that we create has to be imagined first.
Right,
Doesn't just
right.
poof into existence. You
Mhm.
have to imagine it.
Mhm.
And so focus on the feelings, the emotional energy for just a
Mhm.
minute. When we imagine
Mhm.
that what's coming is even worse than what we already have,
Oh.
how do we feel?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a downer.
This is anxiety.
Yes.
Okay,
And a
there's
lot
30
of
years
people
of
live
clinical
in that
experience.
anxiety. They live there.
Yes, because they're predicting
Yeah,
bad
everything.
things to come.
And they can't get out of it. Yeah.
So, what happens when we imagine or predict or expect that what's coming is
Mhm.
even better than what we've already got? How do we
Yeah,
feel?
right. Yeah, then yeah.
And I've labeled this one hope, but it could also be excitement or
Mhm,
anticipation or
mhm. Mhm.
It's that positive energy.
That's what good goals does for you as well, and tiny steps toward those good
Right.
goals, because I'm big on goals. Um, I'm a creator, okay? Creative.
Right.
I've done so many projects, written ton of books already. There's more because they're all in here. But
Yeah.
it's those little tiny steps, and that does give you hope. And the marketing gives you hope, and all of these steps that you take are hopeful steps, but they're actually put down of actual action points, but that's part of that creative process, but it needs to be
Right.
solidified and put down, and actually do it instead of going into the anxiety thinking, oh, this is just not going to work, or no, I'm just way behind, or I just can't, or that's never going to happen. There's so much of that
Right.
mindset. Mhm.
Well, I shared with you earlier, I've got in the model that I train, there are 6 creative phases or
Yes.
steps,
Hmm.
and anxiety traps us
Hmm.
at step 2.
Yeah. Wow.
We never get beyond that to the things
Hmm.
that you're talking about, the
Hmm.
actual physical, carrying out of
Hmm.
the imagined plan or the
Yeah.
blueprint that you create mentally.
Hmm.
So when we talk about mindset,
Hmm.
there's the trite, fluffy, "Oh, just think positive," that you
Oh,
hear
yeah.
from motivational
It doesn't work.
speakers.
Yeah.
No, and
No,
that's just annoying.
it really
When you
is.
when you understand these 2 processes, evaluation and creation, that your
Hmm.
brain is always doing it, you can't turn it off,
Hmm.
and that you have some choice in that process,
Hmm.
it changes the game.
Right. That's a really simple way of putting it, because a lot of people are going to be just, oh, confused. But when you're putting it
Mhm,
with the evaluation and creation, and you
mhm.
have a choice. I mean, that is just
Right.
basic. That's very basic. Yes, you have a choice whether you're going to go that way or this way, but evaluation is what it is. Look at the reality of what it is. That's very important. But then the creation,
Yeah.
how are you going to respond, and all of with that, and I think that's a simple way of putting it, because we're
Yes.
faced with choices every single day. Our mind works so fast,
You
and
know what the most challenging part of this is, though?
Mhm.
And I got this from Dr. Richard Nisbett. He was a guest on my podcast like you were recently.
Okay,
He wrote a book called Thinking, which was
okay.
endorsed by Malcolm Gladwell, of all people.
Oh, interesting.
And
Yeah.
Dr. Nisbett told me on my mic, he said the number one error that we make as humans
Mhm.
is that we believe what we think.
Ooh, interesting.
Yes.
Hmm.
The short version is we know that we're right.
You mean
And
I'm not right?
it's not just that we think we're right. No, this is a different level, Deborah, and this gets in our
My
way as
husband can tell
parents
me
all the
that.
time. Yeah. You wanna talk about parenting adult kids,
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah.
um, we know we're right, but they
Yeah.
know they're right too.
Oh, no. Your kids think of course they think they're right.
They know they're right. Come on. So,
Oh, that's
anyway,
funny.
this is interesting because
Mhm.
whatever our brain has been programmed to think already, and
Right.
when I say programming, it's just like, do you remember earlier I mentioned that we're
Mhm.
speaking English?
Yes.
I don't think you or I chose to speak English. I think we were programmed by people who didn't give us a choice,
Right. I mean, my
right?
parents didn't speak another language. They spoke English. We spoke it at home. Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
And it
Mhm.
comes so naturally to you, and it
Right.
even feels like the right language,
Okay. Definitely feels like the right language to me.
right?
You go,
I'm working on my 3rd language right now.
good for you. I've taken years of languages, but it's the
But
recall.
yes, you know what though? Even at the level of fluency that I have attained in my 2nd language, which is
Mhm.
Finnish,
Okay.
it's still easier to speak English.
Oh, yeah.
It's still easier to just default to my programming, and we
Right.
do this.
Mhm.
Okay, so whatever our programming is becomes very, very strong.
Right.
And that's why the biggest barrier to
Mhm.
adopting a new mindset, and
Right.
it can be trained. We know through research and clinical experience that you can train this positive outlook.
Yes. Yes. Mm.
But whatever we're programmed with is still going to come more naturally to us.
Yeah.
It takes some repetition.
Well, I love it that you have a model though, because a model gives you something because I'm so
Yes.
especially I'm so visual. Not everybody is
Mhm.
visual like that because I think that's the creative side of me. But having that model just to say, I could either go to the left or I could go to the right. I can go to
Mhm.
this way, and but it gives you the ability to discern a little bit and evaluate your own thinking process. So
Right.
I think that's a good thing. And a lot of people don't stop to think, and if you're busy, in fact, I'm very much wired that way. It's been some years of me deciding to slow down.
Mhm.
Let me think through this a little bit more instead of just doing. You just do,
Yeah.
but you get busy. Life is busy. And a lot of people, they've been working, they've been raising a family, or they've been, working with relationships. They've gone through, figuring out what they're going to do. It's just one thing after another. And they've dealt with all of this. And all of a sudden it hits them like a brick wall thinking,
Mm.
oh, I'm anxious. I'm depressed. I don't know what to do next. I'm at a crossways in my life, and a lot of times that's the halftime of life. That's mid-career, you're thinking, "I've worked so many years, but now I'm exhausted, just exhausted. What am I gonna
Mm.
do next? And I just don't know, and what am I gonna really like?" And all of that. And then
Right.
you wanna throw in, if you've raised a family, now you've got these adult kids, and you've got the spouses of your adult kids, and boy, that's a whole other thing. How do you um, deal with all of this without getting totally anxious and stressed out with a model that works as you're talking about living on purpose? Do you have time to do that? And how do you go about doing that in your life? And what choices to make? And
Mm.
I'd love people to walk away with saying, okay, I can do this today, I can do that tomorrow, I can just these are my steps that I'm going to go through. That would really, really help because there's mindsets that we constantly have to make. Mindset shifts.
Right.
Yeah.
Once you
Using
when you said people don't stop to think, a lot of people think that they're thinking, but really their brain is busy, but they're not thinking.
that's a good point.
And I like to take this to a level that I call metacognition,
Okay.
which is thinking about your
Okay.
thinking.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting.
So normally when people think they're thinking,
Okay.
they're actually rehearsing the story in their
Okay.
mind about their circumstances.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, my daughter is doing this and that, and I can't
Mhm.
believe that this happened and that happened and whatever. And they're just rehashing a story in their mind instead of stopping to think about their thinking
Okay. Hmm.
and realize, you know what? I'm evaluating this.
Okay.
I'm saying that it's a bad thing.
Okay.
Interesting, because it's only bad compared to something better.
Mhm.
Because compared to something worse, this is awesome.
Okay. Okay. So you called it a meta. What was the meta?
Metacognition.
Okay. I'm going to write
Which
that one down.
yeah, that's a fancy psychobabble word. We make up words in psychology, it makes us feel smart.
Oh, you know what? I'm
Eh,
just going to write it in the article. It'll make me feel smart. No, but all right. This is what
well,
Paul said.
if you
Um,
break it down, cognition means thinking,
okay.
okay?
Yes. Okay.
Metacognition is a higher level, it's thinking about thinking.
Okay. Okay.
And so that's the simplest way to look at that,
Yeah.
but basically
Hmm.
it's taking a look at the model the way we've talked
Right.
about it. You
Hmm.
mentioned, for example, I'm gonna throw out some clinical terms here, okay? Because 'Cause I'm a
Okay.
professional psychologist.
Hmm.
This is depression.
Okay.
When we
Right.
evaluate what it is to be
Hmm.
bad,
Okay.
we experience an emotional condition called depression.
Yeah.
This is anxiety.
Okay.
So
So
when
all
we
of the red
predict bad
leads to
things to come,
depression or anxiety on your chart.
depression and anxiety.
Okay.
And the green on our model here is peace and hope.
Okay. I like that.
And
All
so
right.
that gives you a little way to
Mhm.
define, okay, what is the emotional energy of this?
Mhm.
And it matters.
Right,
It
right.
matters what we think because however we judge, take a relationship, for example,
Mhm.
a relationship with an adult child. And
Right.
you and I both have some of these.
Yes, we do.
What if I were to judge my relationship with my son, for
Mhm.
example,
Mhm.
to be strained or conflicted or
Mhm.
difficult?
Mhm.
That changes how I show up
Okay. Okay.
because it creates a, I'm not okay with this.
Yeah. And you
You
don't
and
know what
I,
to expect. Yeah, it's a tension. Yeah.
well, but it affects what you expect because then you expect
Mhm.
negative
Right,
interactions.
right.
And the energy that you bring to
Mhm.
the table
Mhm.
actually instructs other people about how to treat you.
Right. Right.
This is something that this was captured really well in a book called The Anatomy of Peace
Okay.
by the Arbinger Institute.
Okay.
And it has to do with, is my heart at war or
Mhm.
is my heart at peace?
Okay.
And I already told you in the model, this is peace.
Okay.
We get good with what it is.
Okay.
The fastest way to get there is gratitude. Deborah, you mentioned gratitude, and you're also asking for some tangible take homes.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Let's power up our gratitude
Okay.
because most people do it wrong.
Okay.
Wrong, different. Just be
Different.
tolerant.
Okay. Be tolerant. I like that. Be
Here's what I mean. Because when we do our gratitude journal, our gratitude list,
Mhm.
we'll get started and we'll write down everything we can think of that
Yes.
is easy to be grateful for. So we've got
Yes.
family and health and
Yeah. Mhm.
puppies and rainbows and indoor plumbing. Deborah, anybody can be grateful for that.
Yes.
Anybody can.
Mhm.
That's wimpy. If you go to the gym and you pick up a pencil off the reception desk and do 5 reps on the left and 5 reps on the right, and then come back and do that every day, are you going to get stronger? Not with a pencil. Pick up
Nope.
some weight.
I know.
Okay, so do you want to work out or do you want to wimp out?
Yep. Yep.
We're That's the mistake we make on gratitude lists. We wimp out and we do all the easy stuff.
Mhm.
Here's what powers it up.
Mhm.
You make your list
Mhm.
about things that are difficult,
Mm. Okay.
painful, frustrating, annoying, kicking your butt.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I'm not saying be grateful for that thing. My son called me 2 years ago, "Dad, I have cancer."
Oh gosh. Mm.
Cancer.
Mm. And with the son. Yeah. Too
Now,
young. Yeah.
so cancer, okay, whatever your cancer is,
Mhm.
all right? And for some of us, that's exactly what it is.
Right.
I'm not saying be grateful for the cancer.
Mhm.
I'm saying open it up
Mm.
and look inside. Rummage around in there, see what you can find that you are grateful for.
Yes.
Put
Mm.
that on your list. This changes the game. I
Mhm.
know lives that have been saved because they did this exercise.
Right.
And it's not
Right.
about the stuff that's easy to be grateful for. It's about the stuff that you're saying is
Mhm.
bad.
Yes.
You're asking your brain
Mhm. Mhm.
to evaluate it
Mhm.
differently.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you'll find something. You know what I found in that cancer, Deborah?
What did you find?
9 trips to Chicago
Oh,
to
wow.
be with my 5 grandkids
Oh
as
my
we were there
gosh.
supporting cancer treatments.
Wow.
You
That
know,
is I mean, that's a true blessing. That's wonderful. Wow.
now am I grateful for those trips, for that
Yes.
connection? Yes. Am I grateful for the cancer?
Yeah.
That's harder, but that's where
But
I
you're
found
grateful
it.
for some of the process of yeah. That really does make sense. Thank you for sharing that. I was immediately going to the through the yoga exercises I was doing this morning, and I'm figuring out that my arms are so weak. That's where my mind went. I'm so sorry. That was not nearly as serious as cancer, but
But it could be that too. It could be, "Oh, I'm
yeah.
sore from exercising.
Yes,
I
I'm
hate
sore from
exercising."
exercising, but at least I can do it. I have an arm. I
You
can at
have an
least get
arm.
up this far, and I know I'll get a little better maybe next week, a little bit better.
Yeah,
So those are those things, and that I can actually do it, and I have a space I can do it. There's so many little things
right.
we can be thankful for that we can have offshoots and not focus on. I can't even hold my arm up on this one, this lunge.
You know what? This just brought back a memory, Deborah, because a couple of years ago, I was interviewing Gabriel Adams here on my podcast. He came
Okay.
into the studio. He was here in the studio.
Wow.
And just to give you a heads up, this 21-year-old young man, the title of that episode, No Arms, No Legs, No
Wow.
Problem.
Oh, wow. That just gives
And
you
you know
chills.
what? I showed up that day. I had a sore foot. And I think I even said, my foot is sore. He said, "You have a foot?"
Oh my gosh. You know what? That puts so much in perspective. I was doing I'm big on iFit, and I have a stationary bike, and so I've been
Mm,
following, some of their instructors, and the one I followed
yeah,
today, this whole session was, a couple sessions on it. He had lost his leg from his knee down, but he said, "If I hadn't
yeah,
done that, I would never be competing in the Special Olympics. I would never be snowboarding and making a way for so many." I wanted to make a difference in life, and if I hadn't lost my leg, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now, and to hear those stories are just so,
right.
captivating to me, and it really makes you think of how thankful I am. I've got 2 legs, and yeah, sure, I can, you know, I'm more challenged these days on, the stretching and everything else, but at least I can get up. At least I can do all of those things. I think that is such a great mindset. And well, so we've been going for a good 45 minutes, and so
Uh,
this is just so much fun. We could just keep going, and going, and going, but I don't want people to shut this out without some nuggets here. But I like this mindset because that applies to almost everything, and especially because and one of the questions I had for you was, adult children and how, we're dealing with those adult children
mhm,
and
mhm.
how circumstances of our life changes and as we gracefully grow older our health kind of there's other decisions we have to make for health and all of those sort of things all of us have faced that in some ways so you've given some really really positive mindsets here but I want you to
Mm.
really leave us with some applications of, things that people are listening, they say, "Oh, I can apply that right now. How can I, apply this to, maybe change, the way I'm thinking a little bit differently?"
There are 2
Mhm,
brain hacks
mhm.
that I should highly recommend. We've already talked about one. I call it the
Yeah.
gratitude power up.
Wonderful.
It's not a gratitude journal. It's a power up because you're going
Okay.
to pick the things that are difficult, frustrating, hard, painful, annoying.
Mm,
So let's apply this directly to adult children. The number one
mhm.
concern that I hear, and I hear a lot of them,
I bet.
as in my position, I've got a lot of
Mhm.
videos on YouTube about parenting adult kids.
Great.
And the number one concern is my child's life or behavior or
Mhm,
lifestyle or
mhm.
partner or whatever
Right.
is not what it should be.
Mm,
Okay, so we're going to stop and we're going to do a little metacognition and notice that we are judging that, aren't
okay.
we? And I would invite you to notice in that same moment
Mhm.
that it's also not a whole lot of things that it could be that you think would be worse.
Yeah. Okay.
And that brings it back to neutral. Okay, your
Okay.
child's life, lifestyle, choices,
Mhm,
partner, whatever
mhm.
is exactly what it is.
Yep.
And by your own judgment, it could always be better, it could always be worse. So
Mhm,
awareness precedes choice.
mhm. Okay.
Now, let's use our gratitude power up.
Mhm.
What if you were for the next 5 days
Okay.
to list specifically 25 things about your child's life, life's choices, partner, whatever it is
Mhm.
that you are grateful for
Ah.
right now, the way it is without changing anything.
Mhm. Right.
25, 5 days in a row. That's
Okay.
125 if you're doing the math.
Yeah,
You're not
good.
going to repeat
Good
anything on
job.
tomorrow's list. This doesn't change anything
Mhm. Right.
except
Your mindset.
your own
Right.
mindset and
Right.
energy and come from.
Exactly. Perfect.
If you get good with what it is,
Mhm.
achieve peace with what it is, then we can
Yeah.
move to the next tack.
Right.
Okay. And the next tack has to do with creation.
Okay.
All right. Because it is not what it is going to be
Right.
yet, is it?
Right.
What is your relationship with your child going to be like next year
Mhm.
or in 5 years or in 10 years? You don't know.
Mhm.
You've got all kinds of predictions, but coming from a place of gratitude for what it is, the way it is right now without changing anything,
Mhm.
then the next tack is what I call better by 8.
Okay.
Okay, BB8. So for the same 5 days, you think of some little thing that you could do from a position of gratitude
Mhm.
to make this relationship
Mhm.
better by
Ah.
8 o'clock. I'm not
Okay.
talking next year, next week, next month. I'm talking
Mhm.
8 o'clock.
Okay.
What some and this brings it down to a very tangible, very
It's very practical.
doable, practical.
Yes. Very,
Okay,
very
now
practical. I love that.
you might be tempted to think, well, my child won't even talk to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So what can you do by 8 o'clock to improve this?
Yeah.
And it might simply be, I'm going to do my gratitude list.
Yeah. That might be
That might
that's
be it for
that
today.
might be it. You know what? That's okay though.
That
That
is
gives
totally
people
okay.
the permission to say, "You know what? If that's all that
Yes.
happens right now, that's okay. I can go on another day. I can keep going. I can keep going even though it's discouraging. I know I'm on the right track." So
Well,
that's very, very helpful.
it's only discouraging if you are predicting worse things to come.
Okay. And that applies to so many
You don't
areas. It
know what's
applies
coming.
to jobs. People are scared because now
Yes.
AI, they're scared for, what, their life is changing, finances, inflation. There's so many things. So
Yeah.
I think the
You're either scared or
principles,
excited,
it's better said, I
and
think
until you
those
see it
two
as a choice,
principles,
it's not.
yeah. And those will be in the article. For those of you that are listening, there is an article that goes with this. And also, you have a free download. Dr. Paul, give us the place they can get that free download. And I will put the link, of course, in the show notes and in the article so you can make sure that you get
Absolutely.
Dr. Paul's information. Yes.
Yeah, just remember my name. I'm Dr. Paul Jenkins. So Dr. Paul Jenkins, spelled with a DR,
Okay.
.com. And then remember the name of this show, Power of After.
Perfect.
That easy. And it's all one word, drpauljenkins.com/power of after. And what I will do is give you a free digital download of my mini book, Portable
Wonderful.
Positivity. And that goes into detail, step by step, about the model that we've shared. It's even got a picture of me with Mark Eaton.
Yeah. And if your eyes crossed it all today, because we covered so much material, make sure that you get that free download because it's very visual. Your model is very visual.
Yes.
That's very, very helpful for people to look at and to see, and then to be able to apply these principles. So,
Yes. And do the brain hacks. Do the
yes.
gratitude power up, do the better by 8. You know what? If you'll do the better by 8 for the same 5 days that you do the gratitude power up,
Hmm.
you get to have 10 upgrades to your life, your
Wow.
relationship, because it's
Wow.
2 8 o'clocks every day for those of you who
Wow.
don't get up early.
You know what, Dr. Paul, I am so impressed by your math skills because that's my,
I
my
know, and that
husband
was
is
just on the fly too.
yeah, my husband is the numbers guy. I am not a numbers person at all. I balance everything. I get it, but I am just not. I'm not one of those. He does so much stuff in his head, so he would be very proud of that. He said, "Boy,
Yeah.
you really did those numbers," because I noticed right away because I'm just not geared that way. That was pretty funny. Dr. Paul, thank you so much, and thank you all
You're
for
welcome,
listening.
Deborah.
What a great conversation. I mean, this was we kind of went deep in there, but stuff that I really wanted to talk about because it was the science of the positivity, science of that positive,
Yeah.
because there's so much of this positivity, and just that word is just out there, and mindset is just out there. But I think when you get into the actual physical application and understand
Yeah.
what's going on in our brains, we have very, very powerful brains. And so I just appreciated you going through those steps. You have a great way of explaining, great smile. Hopefully, people will watch the video, even if they've just listened. Oh, now I have to watch Dr. Paul. So it was great. Thank you so much for being here. And it was
Mm.
just a pleasure. And thank you all for joining us. And make sure you connect with me as well. And you get the links to this, and you get our newsletter that comes every single week. You don't miss a single podcast, a single show, and a lot of free downloads too that I give you. I just give you. You don't have to even sign up for anything. But I just really believe strongly that helping people get through this stage of life is my mission now. And people maximizing your skills, maximizing your experience, so very important. And a lot of that is mindset. So thanks again, Dr. Paul. And for all
Oh,
of you
you're
that
so
have tuned
welcome.
in, I just thank you for again joining us. And I will look forward to seeing you all then next time. So bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I love bringing you insights to help you maximize your skills, resources, and experience at mid-career and beyond so that you can make your next chapter your most impactful and purposeful yet. I'm Deborah Johnson, and I can't wait to be with you again next time on the Power of After Show.